Welcome back to Game Talk from the Bench. I'm your host, Drew Barreto, and today I'm here with my co-host, my uncle Andrew Barreto. And today we're starting off with we got Week 14 NFL. We're getting down to the wire. A lot of teams in the hunt, a lot of close division races, and it was another close week. Starting off, last week we gave our predictions. We were connected with our predictions. However, we didn't. I don't think we did that great. I think we missed a couple of games.
Yeah, that doesn't
Actually,
mean anything.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, starting us off, Lions Cowboys. I couldn't watch this game. I couldn't remember what I was doing. Um, but I did not catch this game. I think I was doing laundry. Um, it was just the offense battle. Lions put up
Yeah.
44. Cowboys put up 30. Um, I said this was a big game for both teams. Obviously, the Cowboys, who were 6-5 before this, are now 6-1. That keeps them in the hunt. However, the Lions are also in the hunt for a playoff spot, and they get that big time win. So, big game from Jahmyr Gibbs. I know he had 3 touchdowns, so he's just been on fire lately. But yeah, I mean, those two teams are trying to fight in for those last couple playoff spots. So that was a huge win for the Lions, and for the Cowboys. I mean, they're alive, but yeah, they're gonna need some games to go their ways if they want to make it into the postseason.
Yeah, this game here, the Cowboys, they kept it close. It was an offensive battle. There was a time where they were exchanging touchdowns, and Cowboys, I want to say they kept it to within three, and then Jahmyr Gibbs just kept rushing for touchdowns. It seemed, which he's been on a tear lately. But yeah, they pulled it out, and it's just going to be a battle for the Dallas Cowboys. That loss puts them in the standings, behind, like you said, the Panthers and the Lions, um, and then they just they'll have to fight for that playoff spot, but it'll be tough for them.
Yeah, they need some teams to lose, but that their tie does help them a lot because it doesn't give them a loss. But yeah, they're gonna need some teams to lose, and they just kind of have to win out. Um, We won't talk about this much, but you did say, you thought Sheduer would beat the Titans. He didn't win. They lost 31 to
Yeah,
29, but he put up one heck of a game. I mean, he had 300 plus passing yards, um, 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. He was phenomenal. He did have a bad pick, but man, I thought the Browns defense would dominate this Titans offense, but Miles Garrett was shut down this game. And it was a great game, back and forth. Came down to a 2-point conversion by the Browns, where Kevin Stefanski took Sheduer off the field, and ultimately they did not end up converting. They ended up losing this game.
did you see what who knows how real things are nowadays online, but Deion Sanders was in one of his press box, or where I don't know if it's not the press box, but he's watching the game with his family, and he it's to so much so much of effect saying fire Stefanski. Something like that's what people are drawing from it, from what he said. And I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he's really botched this. I mean, this is he's been the coach since their coach. He would have already been gone already twice. I mean, he's got horrible 44 and 56 is his record. And I think they need to get another coach in there to kind of groom and get like a quarterback coach kind of thing. And back possibly could turn around the Browns with Shadur Sanders at the helm.
Yeah, and a lot of people were criticizing the performance, like, oh, he's playing against the Titans. However, better some of the better quarterbacks that play the Titans this year haven't put up great numbers. Yeah, they've won the games, but they haven't put up numbers like Sheduer has. So he had a great game. Yeah, Stefanski definitely deserves something for that 2-point conversion play call. Um, and yeah, after they had drafted 2 rookies, I wouldn't have thought Joe Flacco. I don't know why they
Yeah,
would have signed Joe Flacco.
yeah,
And started him to begin the year, but then they go with Dylan Gabriel after that, and now you see how Shadur's playing. I mean, it's kind of like a
yeah.
no-brainer. Shadur's
And it's
kind of
like
the better quarterback.
right, every week it's like he has to announce, oh, he's the quarterback one, the coach. And it's like, now he is. Don't announce it. It's just stick with him the rest of the year. He's obviously, giving some hope to the Browns fans and putting up points. Like you said, that game, 364 yards, four touchdowns total. I mean, that was unbelievable. I know it's against the Titans, but hey, when you do it against any NFL team, and like you said, the
Yeah,
Titans, they're there to play as well. And I think Miles Garrett did get a sack, so he's at 20 right now. But yeah, that defense for some reason couldn't hold the Titans down. To Tony Pollard ran for 161 yards and two touchdowns, and that was the difference right there.
Yeah, and then yeah, it was a yeah, he was Tony Pollard had a great game, for all the people who had him in fantasy. I know they probably dropped him because he was terrible to start the year, but yeah, he had a great game this past weekend. Quick score updates: Seahawks dominated the Falcons 37-9. Vikings surprisingly, Jaden Daniels played for the Commanders, but Vikings shut out the Commanders 31-0. Moving on to the Colts and the Jaguars though. Big game.
Yeah.
Both teams, fighting for the division and a playoff spot. And the Colts lose Daniel Jones for the year. He obviously was playing on the fractured fibula, and he ended up tearing his Achilles in this game. He left the game early. Jaguars took advantage. They won 36-19, and brutal season for my guy Danny Dimes. I was rooting for him all year. I kept believing
Yeah,
in him, picking him.
that's
He was
right.
winning games. Obviously, they were struggling these past couple of weeks, but man, as soon as you thought he found the right spot and the right team, his season's cut short. Won't even have a chance to fight for the playoffs. And now the Colts are in an awkward position. They're now 8-5. Jacksonville's 9-4. They're ahead of them. I believe the Colts are still on um the standings. I want to say they still have a seed right now, but if not, they're in the hunt. They're right there. But yeah, it's brutal for the Colts this late in the year to lose your starting quarterback, especially when you have the team. You invest in the team to make a playoff run.
And you have the in the AFC South, you have two of the hottest teams in football right now. Jaguars, like we're talking about, they won four in a row. Houston Texans, with that defense that we keep talking about, who's just pounding everybody. They've won five in a row, and yeah, unfortunately for the Colts, they've lost three in a row, and their main, play potentially NFL Player of the Year goes down with a huge injury, and now they're left scrambling, and it just doesn't look good, especially with the remaining schedule. They have a pretty tough remaining schedule where they have the Seahawks, the Niners, Jaguars, and the Titans down the stretch, and yeah, they easily could get bumped out of the playoffs.
Yeah, and like you said, they were struggling. Anthony Richardson, their fourth overall pick, from a few years ago, is currently on the IR. So Riley Leonard came in play. He got injured during this game. So yeah, we'll talk about the Colts are getting that quarterback, but yeah, it might have just been the killer right there, the the last line. Um, but moving on to the Bills and the Bengals. I thought Bengals had won this game. I didn't watch it. I just saw the score at one point. It was like 34, I want to say, to 19. Next thing I know, Bills were, or not 34. It was like 28, 28. Was it 28 to like something? Next thing I know, Bills were up 39 to 20 something, and Bills ended up getting a big win. For Cincy, just their seasons. I don't know if they're eliminated mathematically. They might have been. Um, but big win for the Bills. They moved to 9-4. Cincinnati's 4-9. I mean, they're just not making the playoffs this year. Just another one of those years where you lose Joe Burrow for most of the year and you're just behind. Um, so it's
Well,
like,
yeah,
yep,
no, they say, yeah, your main guy goes down. It's hard to recover from that. I know they always say, statistically, mathematically, yeah,
yeah,
everyone's still in it, but a lot needs to happen for a team to get in there. And he had two interceptions. Joe Burrow had four touchdowns, two interceptions. I mean, he kept them in the game. It was just a 21 points. The Bills ended up scoring in the fourth quarter that put the game to
yeah,
sleep for the Bengals, and yeah, Josh Allen did MVP things, three touchdowns. He even had a 40-yard rush, I want to say.
yeah. He's a
Yes,
big rushing touchdown.
40-yard rush that put them ahead. Or actually, no, they weren't even ahead at that point, 28-25. And then they ended up scoring on a 63-yard interception that gave them the lead. And there's Bengals were still fighting down the stretch, but Bills ended up taking that one.
Yeah, and then the Saints, they might have found their guy. Tyler Show played great. He had a rush touchdown, I believe. Yeah, and he did have an INT, 144 yards. But man, Buccaneers, man, they start off the year so great, and they just
Yeah.
fallen off as quick as they rose. They lose. They get upset by the Saints, 24-20. They dropped to 7-6. I believe they're still with contention with the Panthers, who were just on a bye week. But yeah, that was a game that they should have won. Especially when the Panthers were right there at 7-6 as well. So that was a brutal blow um for the Bucs, and yeah, they're
Mhm.
gonna be most likely fighting for a playoff spot too.
Yeah, long season. This is what happens, right? You start off hot, injuries end up, you know, plaguing you and hurting the season, and it's just not going well for them right now. And yeah, 7-6, 3-3 at home, and here comes the Panthers. They're right on their tail. I want to say that they are, yeah, tied in the NFC South. So I mean, we'll see how this pans out. With the last several games.
Yeah, then Steelers and Baltimore Ravens. It was a battle for first place. Ravens lost, I believe, back-to-back games. Just another struggle game for Lamar. 219 passing yards, touchdown. He had a bad INT. Um, had a chance to win it actually. Before Alex Highsmith had a game-sealing sack. Pittsburgh ends up winning 27-22. They are currently hold the playoff position because they went. They're leading the division. Um, Actually, now that I think about it, the 49 Bengals aren't eliminated. I know like I said, we talk about it mathematically, but I mean, hey, if the Pittsburgh
Yeah.
Steelers and lose out, and I don't know, but yeah, no, it was just a tough game, tough loss for the Ravens. Another one of those games where it's like they should have won. But they lose 27-22. But they're right there competing, one game behind the Steelers, so still got a couple weeks left. They have a shot. But like I said, Lamar has not been playing well. If they're gonna try to make a run and want to make it into the playoffs, they need him to start playing like the MVP he was.
Yeah, that division, the AFC North, it's not that great. I think
Not
still,
this
even
year.
though they lost,
Normally three of those teams
yeah,
have 10 plus wins, but
right,
this
yeah.
year
And
I
I
don't know
mean,
what happened.
the leaders at 7-6, and that's not even like they're not. I don't even think they're playing that good themselves. Where with the ever aging Aaron Rodgers, Lamar, I agree, it was just horrible. I'm not used to seeing him play like that. And Joe Burrows, he's playing some good football, but like you said, they got off to just a slow
He's always
start.
hurt.
It's going to
Yeah.
be, yeah, he was hurt. It's going to be hard to come back, but it still looks like the Ravens have a chance to the way that things are going in that AFC North.
Yeah, and then some quick score updates. Dolphins beat the Jets 34-10. Rams dominate the Cardinals 45-17. Bounce back game for Stafford, who had 281 yards, three touchdowns. Blake Corum played phenomenal, 128 rushing yards, two touchdowns. Um, Packers or Broncos beat the Raiders 24-17. Like I said, I had a lot of people saying, "Oh, the Broncos are legit." They're not. Against the
You're gonna
backups.
hold out on that until they actually
Unless I
lose,
see
right?
this upcoming week. We'll talk about it when they play the Packers. Will actually be a
uh,
test
we'll
against the
see.
Broncos. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, a lot of people say the same thing for the Patriots as well. Um,
Mhm.
However, though, I mean, I'm be honest, I've watched the Patriots, but not a whole lot. But Drake May has been playing well. They did beat. I know the Bucs earlier in the year when the Bucs were on fire. So that was like one win that to me that was like, okay, yeah, that was a great one. But yeah, Broncos
Yeah.
just to me just they've lost to the Chargers and the Colts. When both fully healthy. They to be honest, they barely beat the Raiders. I mean, they had a punt return touchdown, which helped them. Otherwise, I mean, Raiders were in the game the whole way.
Mhm. Yeah, there's
But yeah,
I know some of the Bronco fans are probably thanking the Raiders for that Week 1 victory over the Patriots because
they are.
currently, yeah, they're both 11-2 right now in the AFC, but in the conference, the Broncos are one up over the Patriots. They're Broncos are 7-2, and the Patriots are 6-2. So, 10 wins in a row. I mean, I'm not giving them the complete flowers, but I'm giving them credit where credit's due, and they're winning all these games that they're supposed to play. But yeah, I mean, there's just some of these teams right now. Like we just talked about the Steelers, the Ravens. I mean, Jaguars have had some ups and downs, and Chargers. We've seen the Chargers and the Bills also struggle, and Texans win 5 in a row. So I think the Broncos are right there. They can make something happen, and we will see once they start playing. Like you said, some better competition, but they're just taking care of everything that they've played on the field, and they're coming out with all these wins. So I'll give them some credit, even though I don't like to. They are in the Raiders division and
Yeah.
swept them this year.
Yeah, and then Packers get a huge win over the Bears. Came down on the wire for Keyshawn Nixon. Had a game stealing INT. Big win for the Packers. That moves them up to first in the division, not first overall in the NFC, I believe, because the Rams are first place in the NFC, but Packers are second place in the NFC, and they hold the division. And I believe the Bears moved to the seventh seed, if I'm not mistaken. But big one for the Packers. Jordan Love played great, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns. Caleb Williams played okay, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like I said, came down to the final play. He threw a pick. Yeah, big one for the Packers. And then Sunday Night Football. Didn't really watch it. I'm a college student. I'm got other things I got to do. But
Oh,
Texans, like
hey,
you said,
your
Texans
priorities.
are yeah, Texans are on the 5 game win streak. They get the big 20-10 win. Defense played phenomenal, held the Chiefs to 10 points. They had a couple big hits. They had a couple, I want to say a couple picks on Mahomes. If I'm not, I know they had one. Oh, 3 picks on Mahomes. Look at that's even better. 3 picks on Mahomes. Offense for the Texans did enough. They're 8-5. I mean, if I'm a team in the AFC, I do not want to see the Texans. I know the offense isn't great, but that defense will put some pressure on your offense. So if I'm a team in the AFC, I do not want to face the Texans in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, because I mean, they even make one of the goats, Mahomes, just run around all over the place, and you're talking about Texans potentially in the playoffs playing a Bo Nix or I'm drawing a blank on the
Drake May,
Patriots, Drake
yeah,
May and
young quarterbacks.
Lawrence. These are young quarterbacks here that I think the Houston's can make them Justin Herbert make them throw make some bad decisions and throw ints like they've been doing. So
I
yeah,
mean,
Houston Texans, they're right there.
we saw it last year when the Texans played the Chargers in the first round of the playoffs. Herbert threw 3 picks, 3 or 4. I want to say it was 3, but yeah, they were dominant last playoffs, and like I say, I don't think any team wants to face them this upcoming year. But moving on to
And who's
Monday night,
real quick, who's and the coach, right? The
D'Amico
coach,
Ryans, yeah,
D'Amico from the 49ers. This is his first opportunity to be a head coach, and he's
he's doing
thriving.
great. He's
He's
doing
doing
great.
great. I mean, this is the kind of there's these young guys that are out there that have ideas and game plans, and he's a former player, and he's doing well as a coach, and people are buying into what he's trying to do, and I'm always going to go back. That's what the Raiders need.
Yeah, most definitely.
Something a young up and coming coach. How about that? Not these old
Yeah.
guys. I'm tired of them.
But moving on to Monday Night Football with Eagles Chargers, and man, this was a rough first half. I believe there was 6 turnovers in the first half. I started watching, I think in the second quarter. I don't know. I turned on the game. First thing that happened, Jalen Hurts pick, fumbled by the defender, recovered by Hurts, fumbled by him, recovered by the Chargers. It was crazy. A game Jalen Hurts wants to forget for the rest of his life. 4 INTs plus a fumble. He had 5 turnovers this game. Herbert had a pick, and Herbert did also have a couple fumbles as well. But it was a back and forth game. Jake Elliott missed a field goal that could have helped the Eagles in the long run. But yeah, Chargers get the big win, upset 22-19 in overtime. They had a game sealing pick against Hurts. Although him and AJ Brown, they've been connecting well. I believe it's the third consecutive game where he's had 100 receiving yards. But man, they cannot get into the end zone. I mean, like a nice Saquon Barkley rushing touchdown. I believe in the fourth. And it looked like that's the Saquon Barkley we used to see him go on these long runs for touchdowns. And I thought that would have been the turnaround right then and there. But nope, they ended up still letting this game slip out of their hands. And Chargers get a big win. They're 9-4. Eagles up to 8-5. I mean, shoot, we're talking the Eagles were in prime playoff position a couple of weeks ago. Now it looks like they'll be fighting for a spot. Although no,
Well,
they lead the
yeah,
division. So I lied. I lied. I
yeah,
lied. Unless the
they
Cowboys
have a
can make up some
pretty
ground.
yeah, they have a pretty good hold on that division there. They're still currently, if I'm looking at the standings, they're still third. But losing three in a row, that's not helping anything. And yeah, if they want to make some noise in the playoffs, they're going to need to correct those turnovers and those offensive woes that they've been um, having the last three games. But yeah, I mean, Chargers were right there. They're currently slotted at the fifth position in the AFC, and they're still right there. I mean, Broncos end up losing a couple, then the Chargers
Yeah,
could.
no, Chargers they've been fighting. Herbert's dealing with like the fracture in the left hand. You could definitely tell. Offensive line is horrid. I mean, he's getting sacked at least every drive, once a drive. But they're still finding ways to win games. That their secondary is a lot more better than I anticipated. That was like the first time I actually like really paid attention to their secondary. It's really good. They got obviously Derwin James, one if not the best safety, in the league. And then they have is it Dante Jackson? I want to say it's Dante Jackson. He's been great. They got a couple of studs in that secondary. The defensive line itself. I can't remember if Khalil Mack was playing last night. I know he had the arm injury. But the defensive line gets it done. They got a pretty solid defense. And then, like I said, they find ways to win, and they've beaten some tough teams.
Right.
But that is all for Week 14. Moving on to Week 15 predictions. A lot of
Oh,
lot of big games. Starting off Thursday night, it's not really a big game. Well, it is for the Bucs. It's Falcons Bucs. I'm gonna go with the Bucs just because they are in desperate need of a win. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Bijan rushes for 120 plus and ends up winning them the game. But I'm gonna go with the Bucs. I think Baker's gotta get his team or gather his team around. They gotta pick up a win. I think Thursday night football will get them there.
yeah. I mean, they need this one, and every time we say they need this one, they don't win. But um, the division, the NFC South, like we're saying, it's up for grabs right now, and they could start the week off with the victory on Thursday, and take that lead for now. But I'll take the Bucks.
And then we got a division matchup. Ravens, Bengals. Obviously, both teams not eliminated from playoffs. Bengals need the win. I think stay mathematically alive. Ravens need the win to try to contest the division. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I think Lamar's got to find it. He's got to find it. Coming down the stretch, I think him and Harbaugh, and they just got to find it. I just think they're the better team than the Bengals.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna go with Ravens and Lamar.
I mean, this is after seeing Lamar play last couple of games, and then seeing Joe Burrow. I mean, he's been playing out of his mind. It's like, I don't know on this one. Looks like the spread is 2.5 Baltimore, so they're kind of unsure at that point as well. But yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals at home. I'm going to take them at home. Burrow, pulls this one out. I know he almost got that one against Buffalo, but now he all but gives the Ravens another loss.
I forgot they did play each other. Was it Christmas Day? Yeah, not Christmas, Thanksgiving. And Bengals did hand it to them. But I'll still keep the Ravens. Eagles though, they'll probably get an easy win against the Raiders, so hopefully that can get them on track. Um, Next big matchup, Chiefs Chargers. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I forgot they played Friday night in Brazil. Um, to start the season. I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I just think, like I said, they keep finding ways to win. I just think the Chiefs just lost their left tackle. Their season's essentially over. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers in that big division game for both teams.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough for me because I'm just like, I don't like both of them, but um, and I know there's only like a few games left in the season, and how many we have actually? One, two, three. There's like four of them left, and I would still like to think that Mahomes is a competitor and he's going to go out there get any kind of win that he can, I know they haven't gone fishing yet, or is that just NBA? But you know, I know Taylor Swift is and Kelsey are planning the wedding. I don't know if they concentrating on the after season or what what, but I'm going to
I
take
don't
the
know,
Chiefs.
Kelsey. I think it's time for him to retire. I think it's that time that we're at.
Everyone's getting older, man. So yeah, it's just once effective as they were, they're just not. It's not happening anymore, or at least this year. I mean, it's coming off of the Super Bowl last year, right? I mean, so yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs on this one. They're at home. It's going to be cold, and I think they want to ruin the Chargers' bid to win the West.
And then our next matchup, we got Patriots, Bills. Obviously, earlier in the year, Patriots they beat the Bills 23-20. Looking at their schedule, yeah, they didn't. Their opponents that they beat haven't all been crazy. They did beat the Bengals. They beat the Bucs, like I said. They beat the Panthers, who honestly aren't. They're in playoff contention. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I think the Bills have been playing better as of late, but I mean, this is a true test to the Patriots season. But I just think they're just red hot. I mean, they're 11-2. They look phenomenal. Drake May's playing it out of his mind. The defense is playing great. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm gonna just for shits and giggles here. I'm going with the Bills to be spoiler here and to ride the hot hand of the MVP Josh Allen and they're on a 2 game winning streak and I'm gonna look forward to them to winning a third one in a row and ruining the parade of the Patriots 11-2 record right now.
Then we got a big match with the NFC. We got Lions Rams. Obviously Rams. Basically, I believe they have a guaranteed playoff spot. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, the Lions are still trying to fight for a playoff spot. Big game. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I just think they're just too good offensively. So good offensively. Defensively, they've been okay, but man, offensively they have too many weapons. Um,
Yeah.
and Matthew Stafford's playing great. Kind of a revenge game, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Yeah, they Stafford's on the MVP type stats himself, 35 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I do think they have too many weapons. Yeah, they're playing just out of their mind right now. And who's that running back we were just talking about who had a
It's Blake Corum.
tremendous
It's not
game?
Kyron
Blake,
Williams, but it's Blake
yeah.
Corum.
I mean, see that I mean a plug and play. Kyron Williams, he gets the ball and he does good things. And now you have, I think Corum just might be what? I think it's his second year.
Yeah, it's second or third
Um,
year.
yeah, second or third year, and he's already, you know, scoring a bunch of touchdowns. I'm taking the Rams. There's just too much offense there, and their defense is nothing to be ashamed of either. So
In this next game, Broncos Packers. I said this will be the Broncos like first real test. Like I said, they did lose to the Chargers and the Colts early in the year, so that was like kind of a test as well. But this is like their true testament for all the fans out there that are saying the Broncos are one of the best teams. This will be the actual test to see if they're a good team. Packers are a great team. I got the Packers winning. I think Jordan Love's been during the month at Toyotathon. Jordan Love has been phenomenal. Um, like I said, seeing from what I just saw against from the Broncos playing the Raiders, and the week before that when they played Washington, two bad teams. They were close games. I'm gonna go with the Packers. I just think they get offensively they're too much of a threat, both passing and rushing wise, and then defensively they got Michael Parsons. They got a couple studs defensively. I'm gonna go with the Packers.
yeah, I'll stick with that as well. I'll copy you on that one. I'll take the Packers. Um, I just think Jordan Love's playing. He's also playing. He'll get consideration, not quite MVP level, but yeah, he's carrying the team right now, and I think he does that over the Broncos this weekend.
Yeah, and Sunday Night Football, we got Vikings, Cowboys. Vikings coming off a big win. Cowboys coming off a tough loss. But I don't know. JJ McCarthy is not that great. I'm gonna believe the Cowboys are gonna have a great game, both offensively and defensively. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys to win on Sunday Night Football over the Vikings.
Yeah, the Cowboys are not the Cowboys, but the Vikings hot and cold, right? I mean, they had the last game was decent, and then the one before that not so decent. But again, I'm going offense here, and I think the Cowboys are going to score enough points to win this game at home.
And then Monday Night Football, we have an interesting matchup: Dolphins Steelers. Steelers are first in the division, but the Dolphins have been playing well as of recent. I believe they're on a 5 game win streak, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
I think
I don't
so.
know why it shows TBD. Yeah, it's just okay. I can't even click on the game.
4 games.
Um,
4 games.
4 game win streak. There you go. But yeah, they've been playing good. Tua's been playing well offensively. Devon A-Chain has been playing well. Jalen Waddle's been playing well. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are gonna beat the Steelers. On Monday Night Football.
Yeah, tough one here. Because I know I was just talking about the Steelers and how uh, I want to say DK Metcalf's hurt. I haven't seen any update on that, but I thought he got injured in that last game. And yeah, Dolphins are playing they're playing good football right now. Obviously winning 4 in a row. Um, I'm going for them to continue that. I'll take the Dolphins as well over the Steelers. I'm just not sold on the Steelers. I mean they're
Yeah,
another team. It seems there's a lot of teams who, you know, they win one game and they lose another game. So there's no consistency, and they're just no or not dominant. Not somebody who is winning consecutively aside from the Patriots and the Broncos. Other than that, I think it just could be anybody's game after that.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's got a lot of those teams this year where it's like kind of like they're up in the air. But that is all. That's all for our predictions. I'm moving on to some news. Only one big thing to talk about in the NFL.
Yeah.
Philip Rivers comes out of retirement and he signs with the Colts practice squad. The 44-year-old hasn't played since 2020. He has a daughter that's currently older than current starting quarterback Riley Leonard. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, he's got 10 of those, I believe, and he probably wants to, take off from the wife and kids. And so he's,
Probably he
he's,
had. I mean, he must. I knew he was coaching. I think he was coaching one of his sons in high school, so he
oh,
must have been
wow.
staying in shape. I mean, for the
Yeah.
Colts to sign him over guys like Ryan Tannehill, Derek Carr is out there. For them to sign the 44-year-old, that's just that. There must be something there. I don't know.
Yeah, he just figures if Joe Flacco's still doing it and what's his name, Aaron Rodgers is still playing, and there's been some other guys who've done this before. Obviously Tom Brady and Brett Favre. They've also come to play for a team, and yeah, we'll see what happens here. I mean, like I said, they're scheduled down the stretch. The Colts of
Yeah,
they're
it's
playing
tough.
all. It's tough. It's all playoff teams, and if he gets in there and hopefully
Who
he's
knows?
in shape. Hopefully he's in
Maybe
shape
they'll
and
go
ready to
on a
take a
miracle
beating.
run. They might go on a
Yeah, they could go
miracle
on
run and
a
win the whole
miracle
thing. And
run,
who
and
knows?
that
Who knows?
that's an ESPN 30 for 30 if that happens.
That really is. That gets him in the Hall of Fame. Um, but moving on to the NBA, we're going over some NBA standings and some news. Kind of the same old, same old. Actually, I lied. Not some same old, same old. The Celtics are.
Yeah,
We'll get into that. Pistons still in the first place, 19-5. They've been fantastic. Followed by the Knicks, who are 16-7. Um, the Celtics, who are without Jason Tatum, who lost a lot of players this offseason. They're third seed in the East, and Jason Tatum possibly might come back this year. Um, they're 15-9. It's crazy to say. Um, I felt like a couple weeks ago they were down in the ninth spot. Now they're up in the third spot. I mean, they're on a 5 game win streak. They're playing good. Followed by the Magic and the Raptors, who are the fourth and fifth seed, both at 15-10. And then the 76ers, and then the Cavs and the Heat and the Hawks, I guess, round out the 7, 8, 9. Bucks are 10-15. Giannis might get traded. That's the big rumor going around. A lot of teams interested in him. Jalen Johnson for the Hawks though has been incredible. Yeah, I believe he dropped a triple double, 40 point triple double. I believe last week. But yeah, the East. I thought there'd been some clear favorites.
it
A lot of
looks like
surprises this year.
it looks like there's going to be some flipping around right there because it's really only like a game, maybe a game and a half from from the third all the way down to like almost
Uh-huh.
the ninth seed, and
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, because we seen maybe last week Cavs and Miami and the Hawks they were up where now the Knicks and Celtics and Magic are, um, and yeah, I just think there'll be yeah Celtics winners of 5 in a row. Knicks are they're playing good basketball, just kind of what I thought. I mean, I still feel the Knicks are going to be in the finals. Detroit Pistons are still playing great basketball, and they have something to say about that. But That could be a battle down the line in the playoffs. We'll see. But yeah, Sixers are still right there. So very tight, on the East side and the Eastern Conference, and we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, like I said, Giannis prime trade candidate. We'll see if anything goes on because we get closer and closer to the trade deadline, but that's not until February. So we'll get more into that unless something happens soon, a lot sooner than that. But moving on to the West, obviously Thunder 23-1. Not much. They almost lost to the
Insane.
Warriors last week. Almost lost. They were up 20. Warriors came back. I believe they took the lead. But then
Mm-hmm.
Thunder
They
closed it
did.
out. So they almost lost one. They're on a 15-game win streak. But yeah, the 23-1, followed by the Lakers, who are 17-6. LeBron's 10-game or streak of 10 plus points got broken the other week. Which is crazy. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did we talk about that last? No, I don't think we didn't talk about it last episode. But yeah, it was that streak started before I was born. So that was crazy. Um, it shows you that
It's been
longevity.
going on for a little while. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on for 18 years. The Nuggets are 13, they're 17. They're like tied with the Lakers, followed by the Rockets and the Spurs, and the Timberwolves are all about 15, 16 wins. And then after that, the seventh seed is the Suns at 14 and 10, and the Warriors, who are currently without Steph Curry. They've gotten two big wins. They are 13 and 12. Could have been 14 and 11, but they lost. They left one on the board against the Sixers. Speaking of the Warriors, though, like I said, they're without Steph Curry. They're relying on former first overall pick from lacrosse draft, Pat Spencer.
Yeah. Big
And
news.
he's
They're talking a lot. I mean, if you don't know who he is by now, he's like everywhere. Sports Center, Instagram, X, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he's
yeah,
just been all over the place with his highlights. You see him pumping himself up. I think in an interview he just recently said that he goes black. He blacks out when he starts pumping himself up like that and telling Cleveland, what did he say? I'm that mother whatever and
yeah.
it's good to see he's a competitor and he's playing good ball right now these last 4 games that he's been given the opportunity.
Yeah, most definitely. He's been carrying the Warriors. He's been their spark.
Yeah.
Last couple of games he's been starting. He's got, like I said, gotten two back-to-back wins. Yeah, he's on a two-way contract, which is crazy to say.
Yeah.
But they're definitely gonna find him a spot. Probably come trade deadline, they'll find him a spot to get him on the actual roster. He's just been incredible for them. He's just been the underdog that they've needed, especially in a year where they're kind of
Yeah.
struggling. Steph's injured, Draymond dealing with injury, all their guys are dealing with injury because they're all older. Pat Spencer's been some story.
And even more interesting, we constantly talk about Kaminga. Kaminga didn't. He was unhappy. Didn't sign the contract and said no to the Warriors' offers multiple times. We end up getting him. Forgot what the details were, but is it a year, 1 year, maybe 2 years? I can't remember
I think it
what it
was
is, but
I want to say it was a 2 year with a third year team
yeah,
option. Might be wrong.
yeah. And so now they're relying on him, and he's just has
He
not
got a
taken that
DNP.
leap.
He got a
He had
did
a
not play against the
DMV.
Bulls. Against the
So
Bulls, who
so
they beat by 30.
against the Bulls who have nine, I mean, what are the Bulls? The Bulls are like 9-14. Steve Kerr said, let me put Pat Spencer in this undrafted, 29-year-old or whatever he is, and let me play Guy Santos instead of Kaminga, who's a high draft pick and high ceiling, allegedly. I know we've been waiting since 2019 for something to go and something to happen here, and it's just not. It hasn't come around yet, and I don't know if it will. And I think come trade time, I think yeah, we possibly seen. Here's we'll put Kaminga with some other pieces and
We'll send him to
try to
Sacramento
go
for
after a
Domantas
player.
Sabonis.
Yeah, I
Actually,
mean,
I don't know if
I've
they need
seen
to
that
send a Quentin
before.
Post. Quentin Post is the third best rated defender in the league. He's been great this year. From year one to year two, he's been money offensively, and he's been even better defensively. But yeah, we'll see. Come trade deadline, we're only in December. Trade deadline's not till mid February, so we'll get more into that as the weeks go along. But the one thing of news I want to talk about NBA wise is, I believe, last episode we film these on Tuesdays, and I get them out on Wednesdays. But last Tuesday after our episode, I want to say Tuesday night, probably like Tuesday, like maybe Wednesday, early Wednesday morning, like at 2 in the morning. Chris Paul got released from the Clippers. It's crazy, right? He was on his. Obviously, he wasn't playing. Announces his retirement. Obviously, he's a
Right.
fan favorite with the Clippers. Obviously, he had Lob City and whatnot. And which is funny because I wanted to talk about Lob City a couple episodes ago because I saw like a highlight reel of just Lob City. I was like, dang, this is like one of the biggest what if teams.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, fan favorite, and they just let him go. He posts on his story, I'm being sent home. Um, yeah, that's crazy. A
I,
guy
I didn't
who
really I
guy's a
didn't
Hall of
really
Famer.
follow.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
guy's
yeah.
a Hall of Famer and is not getting this fair world tour anymore.
Yeah, his farewell tour was cut abruptly, I guess.
Really short.
I haven't been following everything about the situation with the Clippers and Tyronn Lue and how they don't talk or they're talking smack to each other, whatever it may be. I mean, I just know that Chris Paul is, love him or not, Hall of Fame player. I mean, he's played at a high level, ever since he got drafted. But I think they were the Charlotte Hornets still.
No, they were the Hornets,
Or
but I
they
believe it was the New
were
Orleans
they New
Hornets.
Orleans?
I think they were New
Okay.
Orleans.
I remember I'm old school guy. It's Charlotte Hornets to me.
Yeah, I thought they were Charlotte. They might have been Charlotte
um,
at the time, and then they relocated to New Orleans. Who knows?
yeah, and then they did Charlotte Bobcats or something like that. Or
Yeah.
it's just a mess. How about that? But yeah, he just scoring and he's got to be tops in assists. Just what a career he had put together. Like you mentioned, that Lob City, that was much see basketball there.
Yep.
Blake Griffin, DeAndre
Back in
Jordan.
like
Uh,
2012, 2014.
but those are the guys who were holding down in the playoffs, anyways. Were holding the Warriors there. Warriors couldn't get over
Right?
that hump. They would
Right.
always
Yep.
run into the Clippers and Chris Paul, and so I mean I've grown to not like the Clippers. From there, from what was it, 2012,
Yeah.
2013, or whatever it may be.
Finally in
You know,
2015, they got, or 2014, 2015, that season, the
yeah,
Warriors were able to get past them and
they were
end up
able
winning
to
the whole
get
thing.
over that hump, and then now Clippers are, what are they, worst in the league right now still? So but
Yeah, something like that.
but yeah, I'm looking at it. They're 6-18, so yeah, they're not doing too great. So yeah, too bad of a situation. Sometimes a player like that, you like to see him get his farewell tour, like you said, and just probably get a uh, ovation or whatever it may be in every city he goes to. But that's not going to be. But I think I saw something where he says he's at peace and he's good about it, and he's just feeling good about just no longer playing.
Yeah, so we'll see if he tries to sign with the championship caliber team like the
Yeah,
Thunder. But as of right now, he is a free agent. We'll see if his retirement just comes early or not. But that is all for the NBA. To end this off, we'll go over some MLB news because some MLB news went down today. First off, I didn't know it was the draft lottery. White Sox win the lottery. They earned the number one pick. Shout out to the Giants though. They were projected the 15th pick. They end up getting up to the fourth pick. So good for the San Francisco Giants. That's my Bay Area team, even though I'm a Padres fan. Um, Kyle Schwarber, big name free agent, and second in MVP voting, I believe, behind Shohei. Was drawing interest from lots of teams. He returns to Philadelphia on a 5-year, $150 million deal. Um, which honestly I think it's pretty cheap. Only 30 million per year, but big money, big money for the
he,
DH.
he's happy there.
He's
He
happy. He must
doesn't.
be. Hey, he's
Sometimes
been
it's not always
great.
about the cash. I mean, he could, yeah, like you say, he probably could have got more money from someone else. But when you start talking, what did you say, 30 million? I mean, that probably makes him happy. He likes the
Yeah,
situation where he's at, and
I guess he believes they got the team. They got the team to win it all. Even though this past season they came up short, but yeah. As well as, but no one. We don't like to talk about the Dodgers, right? They just won back-to-back World Series, and most teams, they'll take that in a lifetime. But the Dodgers go out and do. They go out and spend more money. They signed closer Edwin Diaz to a 3-year, I want to say $60 million deal. Let me see right here. 3-year, 69, so basically $70 million deal. They go out and spend more money after winning the World Series. They signed probably the best closer on the free agent market. They should continue to get better. I mean, yeah, it's just tough for
Just
yeah.
adding on to their already World Series
Adding
champion
on to their
team.
Avengers roster.
Ooh,
So
yeah, I mean it reminds me of something like what the Yankees have been doing for decades. They always, whenever there's a big free agent, Yankees are always rumored to get them, and right now it's just the uh, Dodgers. Just they got the cash. They're doing very well,
yeah,
and money's flowing in, so they're spending they're spending money to hopefully go. What would it be, a three-peat?
yeah, they're gonna try to go for the three people. We'll see. Like I said, their pitching staff is it's kind of funky. A lot of guys get injured. They have some of the worst years, so we'll see how Edwin Diaz goes. But yeah, Dodgers continue to add on. They're looking for the three P. They're looking they're for to add on to their dynasty right now. So we'll see if any team could try to stop them. Um, Yeah, but also baseball wise, we got the World Baseball Classic this upcoming season. A lot of guys trying to play. A lot of teams debating on if they want their guys to play or not. I know the Dodgers are going to let Shohei hit. I do not know if they're going to let him pitch. I don't think they're going to let him pitch, but they're going to let him hit. So we'll see how that goes because Edwin Diaz did get hurt last time he was in the World Baseball Classic. Off celebrating a close he had made. He had tore his ACL. So we'll see. But that is all for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Covered a lot. Covered all of football, basketball, baseball. We're getting more baseball news every day. Football's getting close to the end of the season. We're getting to the playoff time. Basketball still in the midst of it. NBA Cup. I believe it's this upcoming week. We got the knockout rounds. But yeah, we covered a lot. Thank you all for tuning in. I like to thank my co-host, my uncle, for joining me today. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. We record these every Tuesday. I get them out every Wednesday. But thank you all for tuning in. Happy holidays. And until next time, stay ready.